Dan Henderson?
Yes, it is.
Late motherfucker.
I know.
He's lucky I'm not as tough as he is, or I'd kick his ass.
I know, but what the fuck are you going to do about it?
What am I going to really do about it? I can't really do,
after watching that last fight.
15 minutes late, thank you, Dan, but there's really not much shit I can do about it since you're such a fucking stud and I'm a pussy. And I,
deal with it.
I'm gonna believe me, I am gonna deal with it. I'm just glad your Range Rover broke down. That's what I'm glad about.
It's fixed now.
Hey, by the way, there's getting knocked out, and then there's getting knocked the fuck out, and I got to think that you did the latter to Bisping. My lord.
Yeah, and then some, I think.
That had to feel fucking good, though. Especially that second lick. Say what you want and backpedal all you want, but that second lick, at the time, in the moment, that had to be the greatest fucking feeling, was it not?
Yeah, it was very rewarding, that way.
I'll tell you what, it makes you proud to be an American.
He's downplaying it.
And Dan, unlike fucking dumbass Lesnar, Dan handled it the right way. He got up on the railing, he showed everybody the USA, he got the crowd hyped up, and then when Rogan interviewed him, he's like, you know what? Usually I'll restrain myself he goes, but I just had to put a little something in there. And that's what the fans wanted to see and hear. Dan's not a fucking asshole like Lesnar is.
No, and it makes you proud to be an American, man.
That was I got a little heat over that, and because it kind of came out a little bit the wrong way. But, I did what I was supposed to do out there in the fight, and I didn't do anything extra just to...
I mean, it's also very instinctual, too. I mean, you're a fighter, and, nobody can reenact the kind of adrenaline that's going through you. And, what you probably are trained to do is hit a guy and follow him down to the ground. And, I mean, there's probably not a lot of restraint that can happen at that point.
And the bottom line is that was a foreigner.
Anybody that I was fighting, I would have done the same thing. I did the same thing against Vanderlei, and I just didn't say, that I thought he was out. It didn't come out right. Yeah, who knows if I knew he was out, but I didn't. I
mean, you were just, you hadn't been pulled off yet.
It's like a baseball player whacking a ball. You don't know if it feels like a home run, but you don't know if it's out until it goes out of the park. So.
Well, I mean, how many times have, a guy not following through, and the guy, then does it, you let him off the hook, and the guy doesn't end up getting knocked out, and you're like, shit, I should have finished him off when I could have,
Right.
Well, I thought, Bisping, after the fight, Bisping was on the canvas for so long. Yeah. I mean, he was out. I thought rigor mortis was going to set in. He was down there so long.
He shouldn't have disrespected America. Let's all not forget about that.
Well, yeah, and the Ultimate Fighter, he's a complete fucking cocksucker, Bisping was, and it couldn't happen. You know what? Henderson couldn't have done it to a better asshole than him, period.
Now, Dan, when it comes to the Lesnar post-fight speech that he gave in the ring, initially, what's your take on it? Was he being a dildo or no?
Yeah, I couldn't, I couldn't believe he was saying the whole Coors Light thing.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, my God.
Because that's rule one. You got to respect the sponsors.
I mean, Bud Light is a huge sponsor of UFC.
Right.
And, it's a barbaric sport, so that when you get a good male skewing sponsor, you don't fuck around and fuck with them. He could have just said, I'm going to go drink a Coors Light and not motherfucked Budweiser. He just could have said, hey, listen, you know what? I'm going to go drink a Coors Light. I'm so damn happy. That would have been not a problem.
Yeah, it was still, he would have got some heat over it, but it was not so bad, yeah.
Yeah. And to me, it just came across that, hey, I'm glad for I can't wait for maybe Fedor to come over and beat the fuck out of him, but, he just, to me, showed like he's a real fucking simpleton blockhead, and this is going to be very short-lived, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, though, but he just has this mentality from WWE that he's got to, go over the top and entertain and cause some sort of drama.
And what he didn't realize is in the post thing, I guess when he was apologizing as Dana flipped out, he said, well, I'm used to selling pay-per-views and being entertainment, but what the stupid fuck doesn't realize is the pay-per-view was already over. Had he done something like that 2 weeks prior, well then you're building up a natural, Yeah,
but he doesn't even like to pre-promote his fights.
Well, he's referring to his next pay-per-view.
Yeah, well, he's an idiot.
And he does sell pay-per-views, just his name.
Well, I do realize that you probably were the recipient of that being one of probably the best pay-per-view as your payday. By the way, he got knocked out of the night as well.
Yeah,
let's not talk about that.
Yeah, props on the 100K.
I didn't get a piece of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, but you got that 100K for the knockout.
And a Range Rover, asshole, that broke, and a Range Rover that fucking broke down.
And let's be honest here, hardcore MMA fans, Dan Henderson is a draw to watch the pay-per-view.
Yeah, and he's mean too. Mean as fuck, Dan Henderson is.
I mean, you're watching like Dan Henderson and Vanderlei Silva was the reason I got Pride 33 to see that knockout
with cauliflower ears.
Yeah.
And that's
I love fucking with you, Dan. Oh, you know that, buddy.
See, to me,
absolutely, and I'm gonna love beating your ass when I see you.
Yeah, well, I'm just going
I'm making sure I'm out of the room.
I'm going to make sure that I have a weapon with me at all times because, I sized him up in Vegas, Britt, when I saw him a couple of years ago at the Drags. I'm like, man, that motherfucker's thick. And that's when he was rolling around at 210. Now he's in shape at 185.
He's in unbelievable cardio shape.
I'm the same weight. I'm a little over 200.
But didn't you went to 205 for a while, right?
Yeah, and I still fight at 205.
Yeah, we'll stick to
My last
185.
fight against Franklin, Rich Franklin was at 205. But I still weigh 203, 202.
I think that not that I'm a homo, but I thought that this past week you looked great at 85. You should stick to 85.
I like them both. We'll see.
Double the payday.
Yeah.
I just don't like to limit the fans to what they can see.
Right.
And if there's a good matchup at 205, if the fans want to see it, I'm not going to be stuck in one weight class.
Right.
Now, when it comes to your workout, one of my buddies was telling me that they saw an interview or something like that, and you said you either do one of two things. You either do a set of 20 or a set of 100, depending on what you're feeling that day. Is that true?
Kind of true. I kind of the 6 weeks before my fight, it's pretty much the hundreds only.
A set of 100 of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one. It's probably 13, 14 exercises. One set of 100 on each exercise.
So Hendo, what's on the horizon for you next? I mean, who was that one guy that talked some shit about?
I think it was Kote.
Yeah, Kote talked a little shit about you. I mean, what do you say about that?
It don't matter.
Well, I know, but I mean, are you going to let him get away with that shit? Or what are you going to do?
Are you going to fight him?
I'm not going to enable their career, put it that way.
Oh.
By talking shit back.
Right. So you say,
in other words, Kote's underneath you.
He needs to go out there and do something, in the cage first.
He needs to do something worthy to get your attention.
Right.
And then how about who holds the belt for that division? Who's
for 205?
Yeah,
Lyoto Machida.
How about Machida now? Don't be scared of that one, Dan.
No, I'd love to fight him. He's obviously very dangerous and
yeah, but karate, really?
He's unorthodox.
He's exciting to watch now, unlike in the past where he wasn't so exciting.
I mean, how many fucking homos say that they know karate? I mean, give me a fucking break. I mean,
there's only one that I know of that's actually tough, but he's not just a karate.
Dan knew exactly the guy you were talking about.
Karate guy.
So Hendo, you know what I'm saying here.
Karate guy.
I mean, you're onto my spiel here. How many fucking karate kids wax on, wax off I have to deal with?
Only a couple. Yeah, I mean, it's just Lyoto Machida has learned everything else. He's not just a karate guy.
No, but just boy, even if I learned, then I would tell people that I'm something else besides karate. If I learned anything, I say, hey, I'm a shit salesman.
I figured out the karate sucks, and so then I learned Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So.
Yeah, something like that.
So what's the game plan to beat a guy like Machida?
I would think you just need to stay right in his face. Because he's a very good counter striker. He's good, but if you're right inside his face, he doesn't have where he picks the shots and backs up, picks the shots, and looks like he hits very hard too. So
now, how stupid was Bisping? You watch tape on him, he watched tapes on you. He knows that you got your right. Your right is unbelievable, and then the motherfucker continues to circle left right into your right, and you even kind of chuckled about it on the interview, saying, "Yeah, he's about fucking stupid that way." And I mean, would he not have? I know as tough as he thinks that he may or may not be. I mean, no human being is going to be able to withstand that right if you're crossing left. Why did he continue to do that?
I don't know, just a bad habit, I guess.
Right.
And he didn't correct it, when he should have.
No, he didn't correct it by all means. He got knocked the fuck out.
When I fight like Anderson Silva, when I fight him, I'm circling the opposite way as I normally do.
Right.
Something that you just need to be aware of.
Yeah, you're not giving Anderson Silva any free shots like that.
Right.
So, Dano, what do you got? What do you got? Any promotion you got going on? Anything you got going on that we need to promote for you, buddy?
Sponsors?
Clinch gear.
Clinch gear.
Right.
Always. And that's they're the best shorts in the business. But I'm got a lot of pretty good sponsors. I'm with Tap Out now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, they gave me a pretty good deal, and they made my walkout shirt. So it's I think they're going to be selling all those exact walkout shirts at all the Pac Sun stores.
See, Dan is the anti-sponsors fighter. He's like,